Well, Branson is a challenge to do
It is.
comedy, I think, especially. With music, I always joke with our musicians, they can go. Like, music is a universal thing. Like,
Exactly.
once it starts with comedy, if you feel like you're losing that
Yeah.
audience, suddenly feel like you're treading water,
Well, yeah.
and that's
Well,
that.
somebody plays or sings and does a song, and even if they don't, even if they're going, boy, that's not very good. At
Yeah.
the end, they still clap.
Yeah, they feel
'Cause
obligated.
That's what you do. But you don't just laugh because it's polite.
Yeah, right.
At a joke. You just go, that wasn't very funny. I didn't like that.
What do you mean by that? So comedy in Branson is very different. Now, I came from New York. I was working in New York, and my friends, when I said I was moving to Branson, they said 1 week. We give you 1 week with your comedy.
Yeah.
Because I do stand-up type stuff, and I had never gone to shows around. Well, I take it back. I went to a show downtown my first week, and I don't want to say the name. We don't, but it rhymes with Nald Bobbers.
Okay.
And
Okay, I got
it was
it, yeah.
it was the Presleys.
Okay.
But I went, and it was a good show. But I saw how the comedy was with characters and stuff, and I thought, oh no, like I don't do that.
Yeah.
And so I thought I was doomed. But have you done comedy anywhere else?
No,
Other than Branson?
I've just.
So you
grown
don't
up here
have
and
that
I've stayed here,
experience.
yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
So you don't have that to compare us to the difference
Not personally,
between.
no. I have a lot of influences just watching Carol Burnett, Tim Conway, all those people, and Mel Brooks, and I mean, I wouldn't say studied them, but big fans, and so that sort of influences a lot of what it is, and sometimes that doesn't work as well.
Right.
But makes me laugh. But
Yeah.
I do get a lot, especially if I can. Tim Conway, you get in some of those guys. The audiences here know, and I get people will mention that once in a while. They'll go,
Tim Conway.
Did you ever watch Tim Conway
Yeah.
when you grew up? I was like, yeah, all the time.
little bit.
Because they said, well, you kind of reminded me of Tim Conway in a couple of spots because I do an old man character.
Oh, you do?
From
Yeah.
time to time, and that's all I can do. It just comes out Tim Conway. So
Yeah. Well, he was in town a few years ago. Did
I
you
got
go
to
see
him?
Me
Him
too.
and Harvey Korman and together, and it was a thrill. It was a thrill.
It's amazing watching him work because he did the dentist thing and all that. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
See, I love that old style of comedy too, and I love watching like Bob Newhart and
Oh, yeah.
all the Don Rickles.
Love
Every
Don
time he's in Vegas, I go see him and stuff.
I would love if I had a chance to do stand up and do that. I would love to be Don Rickles.
You would?
I
And just kind of
I
pick
think
on
I
people
could.
and stuff?
I think I could.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
I'd be beaten up.
But you know what's funny is we had this discussion with Cassandra Haage in our show, and people kept coming out saying, "Oh, you like to pick on the audience," to me, not to her.
Right.
And I say that's hilarious because anywhere else I work and I do my Branson show, they're like, "Well, that's really tame,"
Right.
And so it shocks me that level of the audience. I think they believe just because you're speaking with them, because Branson is very different.
It is.
My thing that I noticed. I went to that show the first week. Then I didn't go to any shows for a year because we just got busy. And then I went a year or two later and noticed that the difference to me was in Branson, the audience is right there. Like they feel like they can talk with you.
Exactly.
And they
It's
want
more
like your
intimate.
fan group, the crazies.
Wild Bunch,
The Wild
yeah.
Bunch. But they feel like there's no wall there. And that was the biggest difference for me. When
exactly.
Coming from comedy clubs, you did not want to engage with the audience too much
Right.
because they were drinking
Right.
quite heavily.
You would literally end up engaging.
And those
with
are just
that,
the church shows. No, but here they wanted you. And so I went and saw Paul. I went and saw a lot of the different shows
Right.
in town and realized, wow, they really address the audience and get them involved. And so that
Yeah.
changed everything.
Exactly.
But you guys, your following is just crazy to me because I
We had-
can't believe.
We do so many shows, I guess, and so a lot of the folks come to all the
Different things
shows.
going
We've got
on.
like 9 shows. And
Yeah, you have a
theater
season
throughout-
pass, so
after year, so
that makes sense.
But yeah, it's different, and I've gotten the privilege of becoming friends with national touring folks like you and others. So I get an insight into that. I've heard what you're saying, and I know it to be true.
Yeah.
There was a comedian that I'd watched on television. I just thought he was really great. I won't mention his name, but and he came here for just a little while, and I was so excited because I really loved it. He was just so funny to me, and he just bombed here.
Yeah.
And then
Was this just a few years ago?
it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, I know.
And
who
I'm
it is.
like, I understood it. It's like,
His style
makes
is
sense.
much more abrasive.
Yeah, but it was so funny, and just some of it's just brilliant. It's not even like anything else anybody's doing, but it's like,
Oh, that brings me to a point about comedy in this town. One thing that really surprised me, your show is really unique. However, there are a lot of people that come into town, especially comedians, I think, maybe it's just my view, that just imitate other comedians or take someone else's act and they do a tribute act. That bothers me a lot because people don't realize how much work it is.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
It is a lot of work because you have to fine tune it and you constantly have to think about it.
Right.
And to see someone take a bit that you come up with or a character and just do it somewhere else. And I'm surprised here that happens as often as it does.
It does happen more than it should, definitely. And because we're a small town, it's like you're 2 doors down. I'm going to know you're doing this.
That's what I say. I say it's not like you're in Vegas or Atlantic City doing a joke that I did.
Go to the moon. And
you were at my show 3 days ago.
And now you're doing
it.
That's happened, yeah.
That happens a lot. And when I first came, I went and saw a few shows after a year or so. And I went and I remember the people in the show coming up to me saying, "Are you here to get new material?" And I didn't understand that because I had come from a background of being Vegas, New York, and going to see other shows just to see shows.
Right.
But here they were real skeptical, and after a while I realized why. Because you have to be really, really careful with that. You have to be very careful. But you're in a variety show like I am, so
variety show.
That kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off.
It does. Yeah. Our show is, we're trying to get the best balance we can between the old style Branson show, and there is a Branson style show that kind of made the
Formula.
town famous, and a little newer, a little more flashy, and we're riding that line. I think we're doing pretty good.
I think so too.
Job with it,
I think so too.